All right, we are live here at Bear Sheath Farm. Welcome to everyone who's here live, who may come in late in advance, and those who will be recording it, who will be watching it pre-recorded, I should say. Let me make sure. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'm going to give you some updates here. I'm trying to get back. Okay. Folks, let's take a look at this. There's some subjects I've been mentioning in other live streams that I'll be doing, and I have every intention of getting to them sooner or later. My wife brought up a subject to me and sent me a couple of videos on my phone, and I got them on my laptop. Now I'm going to have to work real hard with that for two reasons. One, there's a lot of information to give. It has to do with DCFS, CPU, or DCFS and CPS, which is basically child protection services and that. And there's a lot of information to do, probably a lot of history to give and how it's gotten the way it is. And frankly, it will be hard for me because we had it done to us in the hypocritical red state of Florida, but I will get this done one way or another. That's hard. I already started. I took a short look at like a 2-hour video. And it's and the other one is like over an hour and 34 minutes. But that being said, I have no problem with that. I don't have ADD or ADHD or anything. I can get through all that. It's just the emotions and the way our family was torn apart by a woman who is a psychopath, and frankly, she was a chomo in her heart who attempted to groom my wife's son. I don't know how far she got, and I know I've talked about this briefly, had me arrested. And I did a couple of years of probation for that nonsense. It was all the grief besides the thousands of dollars that it costed us. But that'll be rough. So those will be upcoming. That will be an upcoming deal. Now, the subject here, and as you can read, the title is, is this a peaceful religion with 3 question marks? Now, I'm talking about Islam. And I've watched some stuff. I have some stuff I can show. There was a young lady, 25-year-old young lady at a Walmart somewhere in Texas. And I believe the video was clipped. I've had it done to me, not in a store or anything, to my knowledge anyway, but I've had videos where I've said and explained myself, and then what the person would, whomever, what they would do is they cut off certain areas and try to make me look really bad. It's easy enough to do. Anybody can do it, I would think. But this shows this woman confronting, from what I can tell, a couple of Muslim women. And she was fired from her job. I'm trying to think if I can find the link, although it's on others, where people are funding her. And I believe she has over 200 grand funded to her already. Her name is Dasha Kilpatrick's. And it's props up to her. Now, that being said, in fact, when you see some of this video, either one, those deceptive little pedo worshipers, either one, they didn't start filming it until that young lady got mad, got upset, I should say. Or two, they did, and they more than likely had to have approached her. I just don't see how they couldn't have. And if they did record all of that, they just didn't put that part in. They just made the other part to make her look bad. And then I have some things of another man who that helped dox her name and get her fired, I'll be giving that information out too. So that being said, I'll put him out. And he's got a long history of doing that to people. He has some kind of Twitter or X account that he does that. And there's a whole history on YouTube about him doing that to people over the years. He's a little cucky 50-year-old man that gets off on trying to make others miserable. And I'm sure he's been successful with it. But without further ado, let me get this up here. And if you can donate and help this woman, Dasha Kilpatrick's out, by all means, do it. I mean, she's a hero. And that. So anyway, let's get this up here. I'm going to yeah, here we are. Now this gentleman is his channel is Hayden McDougall. I'm guessing that's his full name. I could be wrong. It's at least the name of his channel. Let's play this.
Get the fuck out of here. You're really not welcome in this state or this country.
Oh shoot. I don't think they can hear me, Deb. Oh, they can hear me. Hold on, folks. I know that. Okay. It should make it easier. Hopefully. Okay.
And I give a couple years basically
Better. It was working without it. Ooh, that's loud. All right. We'll continue on. I apologize. Okay. Much better. Now I will turn this all the way back up. I apologize for this, folks. Okay. Talking about Dasha Kilpatrick's. I'm going to play this again. Or I'll just start it over. I was only 3 seconds into it. Let's listen to this.
Get the fuck out of here. You're really not welcome in this state or this country.
You are wearing scrubs. You work with
It
people
doesn't matter.
of culture.
What matters is that you worship a terrorist who is a warlord, a pedophile, and Islam is a terrorist organization.
Yeah,
Not
because
a
you're
religion.
not educated
Not a
about
religion. I'm very educated on this subject.
No, because you're obviously not.
You need to leave. You're not welcome here.
We are.
This is not a Muslim country. This is a Christian country. And
Stop
you need
looking
to
at
leave.
her like that, please.
You need to leave.
You need to leave.
You're not welcome here.
We have citizenship
Why do you work
here.
in healthcare if you're like
You need
this?
to leave. You need to go back to your Islamic country where you came from. Okay?
No,
Everybody's aware of why you're here.
no.
Okay, so don't think that we don't know, and don't think you're gonna get away with it.
I'm pretty sure we're kind people, but you're not being kind, so you can get out of here. You're not welcome.
And yeah, you should get the fuck out of here. You're
Okay, so
Okay. You heard everything there. I don't blame that girl one bit. Not one bit. you can find her link or the link that was made up for her. It's on many channels, including evidently this gentleman. I looked. He said he put it up there, but I couldn't get to it. I can't afford it. I was just trying to look for it. Now, I think Benny Johnson put one up too. Let me give you a little history on what this young lady was talking about. And you can look this up yourself, folks. I got it on Google here. Now, the way I typed it in is what? Oh, hold on. Hold on. I have to get it again. Let's see. How old was Muhammad? No, we'll just put Prophet Muhammad. When he married Aisha. Okay, it's coming up. Prophet Muhammad was approximately 50 to 54 years old when he married Aisha. Roughly 53 to 57 years old when the marriage was consummated. Now, I can look this up just to give it to you. Aisha is how you pronounce it, at least in English. And it's Aisha. That's the way Google puts it up. Estimates of Aisha's age when she married the Prophet Muhammad vary depending on the source. Traditional Islamic sources and Hadith state she was 6 at the time of the marriage contract and 9 when the marriage was consummated. However, many modern historians and scholars argue that she was between 15 and 18 years old. Okay, look, we know the history. I've checked it out enough in the past. She was 6 when they married. She was 9 when he forced her into that to the consummation. Plain and simple. Okay. Now, consequently, and here's the thing. Like I said, I don't think those women were being honest about that. I think they either one didn't record that part in the beginning that we're never probably going to see, or 2 they recorded it but they clipped it out, which again they will not hand over. That woman was minding her own business. If you see, she was trying to get away from him anyway and go about her business, do her shopping at Walmart. I would guess, with all the cameras and stuff and the little things, I mean, they're all over in all the Walmarts around the country. I mean, they've got to have it, unless they destroyed it, which I doubt. So that being said, folks, let me tell you a little history too of these so-called Democrats, whether they're the traditional Democrats like I used to be when I voted for Bill Clinton. I voted for Arkansas Governor Bill Clinton, Tennessee Senator Al Gore up in Duluth, Minnesota on a Tuesday evening, November 3rd of 1992. And of course they won, and Bush and the Bush-Quayle administration was out, thank God. And they actually had a halfway decent party then. But rather than go on that tangent, let's read a little bit, too, about the Ku Klux Klan. Just to give you a little history, our 7th elected president, Andrew Jackson, was the first real Democrat. They labeled him, and he went with it. Okay, I'm giving it to you very generically. And he owned black slaves, just so you know. He was a tyrant. He screwed over the Indians, the Native Americans, or whatever. But anyway, the Ku Klux Klan was not founded by a political party, but rather by 6 Confederate veterans in Pulaski, Tennessee in 1865. However, its early members and leaders were primarily Southern Democrats who used the organization to violently resist Reconstruction and disenfranchise newly freed Black Americans. While the KKK operated in alignment with the interests of Southern Democrats at the time, historians and fact-checking organizations stress that the Democratic Party as an institution did not officially create the group. Okay, you can take deeper dives, like go into, for a deeper dive into the historical ties between the Klan and the American political factions. You can review the AP News fact check on this topic or this detailed analysis from PBS American Experience. Basically, the Democrats were a big forefront of the KKK. The ones who claim to have tolerance. I don't feel ashamed, for being a Democrat back in the 1990s. I really don't. I never knew the word or name of Jeffrey Epstein. Didn't know it at that time. As far as Monica Lewinsky and that goes, I mean, I'm not saying I condone what President Clinton did, but, look what he had to wake up to in the morning. In a way, I don't blame him. And Monica was of age, but I'm going off on another tangent. That being said, folks, I don't. Here's the thing, too. This guy, and probably a few others, but mainly this one guy's being looked at, and I'll put him up here a little bit. Let's see. Izzy Ent, and I guess he's on X. I'm not going to play the video, but I will give. Well, actually, I think I will. I'll play the video. Why not? And this is on somebody else. Tom Powell Jr. I really don't know who that is, honestly. But Izzy Ent is all proud of himself. He was born on a Friday, June 11th of 1976. This douchebag is younger than I am. But he's got a history of making people's lives miserable. There's a lot of videos done on him and what he's doing to people. So let's go ahead and play this.
I'm going to show you a video of a racist confrontation in a store. And then I want to talk about it from a standpoint of somebody who grew up around that and lived that for a period of his life.
Fuck out of here. You're really not welcome in this state or this country.
You are wearing scrubs. You work with
It
people
doesn't
of
matter.
that culture.
What matters is that you worship a terrorist who is a warlord, a pedophile, and Islam is a terrorist organization.
Yeah,
Not
because
a
you're not
religion.
educated
Not
about
a religion. I'm very educated on this subject.
No, because you're obviously
You need to
not.
leave. You're not welcome here.
We are
This is
welcome
not a
here.
Muslim country. This is a Christian country. and
Stop
you need
looking at her like that, please.
You need to leave.
You need to leave.
You're not welcome here.
We have citizenship
Why do you work
here.
in healthcare if you're like
You need to
this?
leave. You need to go back to your Islamic country where you came from. Okay?
No.
Everybody's aware of why you're here.
No.
Okay, so don't think that we don't know, and don't think you're gonna get away with it.
I'm pretty sure we're kind people, but you're not being kind. So you can get out of here.
So first thing.
Okay. You can go ahead and finish the rest of it. I'll put the links in like I always do for these videos. Izzy Ent is a guy, he's kind of obviously an older cucky, even though he's over, I believe, 7 years young. He's more than 7 years younger than I am. What a pathetic piece of trash bait he truly is. I don't know how else to say it. That being said, but Izzy Ent, actually, I've got it. And I'm not going to play his stuff, folks. I'll show you what it is. Okay. He's got a YouTube channel as well. There he is. he's really something. I'm telling you, he's I don't know what to think about. I just don't know what to say about him. I do actually, but a lot of people don't like when I get into that. A lot of you followers don't like my language sometimes. Okay, I get it. But let's look at what the Islam religion is doing, because we've been so doggone tolerant. We'll go back to this gentleman here, Hayden McDougall. I'm going to find some stuff on him, and here's what they're doing. And this is happening in my home state, Minnesota, like in Minneapolis and that as well. Let me get this. Okay. Hayden McDougall. Let's go back. I went ahead and put it forward a little bit. There we are. Let's play this.
Doxing this woman, this Texas native who has lost her home to Muslim immigrants, to Indian immigrants, to Mexicans. Mexicans move here and they don't even learn how to speak English, okay? And white liberals are mad at you if you have any issue with any of that. So anyways, that's the story with Dasha Kilpatrick. Be praying for her. I'm really happy to see that the community came together to raise some money for her after getting fired. We got to protect our people when our people go viral for telling the truth like that. So it's a W, but now I have some videos lined up here just to prove to you that what this woman said was correct, and that Muslims are becoming an issue in places like Texas. In Europe, they're really an issue. I have some videos about that too, but I got a few videos here of Muslims in Texas. Tell me what you think about this. This is a big festival they had.
Even from the punishment from the grave, whoever bought you in Caravana,
out in force.
under your dome when I dream again. From legends when I walk to Caravana.
Guys, this is Texas. Do your Muslim call to prayer and do these things in the Middle East. Do these in a Muslim country. They're all out here beating their chests. They don't assimilate. They move here. This is a show of force. They're letting Texas know we're here to stay. This is our state now. This is our country now. Look at them, shirts off, beating their chest. Christians don't move to the Middle East and beat their chest and sing in the street. They're making their presence known. I am the captain now. Look at me. Look at me. I am the captain now. That's what they're doing to Texas. Here's Houston Muharram Jeusus 2026. So here's Muslims doing some Islamic celebration in Houston, Texas. Out in the street, beating their chest. So it's not like they come here and fit in with the rest of us and assimilate to the culture. You know, they come here and try to establish their own thing, their own country. They use our infrastructure. They enjoy the spoils of war that we've have in this country, but they don't come to contribute. They come to establish their own Islamic state, basically, guys. Here, Sarah Gonzalez posted this on Twitter. It's a Muslim-only cemetery in Texas. Islamic laws govern all matters concerning this community. So they're segregating themselves. They've essentially created their own Islamic state in Texas. Muslim cemetery, look at that. We cannot bury our Muslim brothers next to infidels. There are some people fighting back against the Islamic takeover. But here's Valentina Gomez. She's in Congress. She's funny. And here's her crashing an Islam event. Takes her hijab off.
Islam is the religion of rape, incest, and pedophilia, where they bow down to a stupid rock and a false prophet. I will never let Sharia law
Okay, so she got very quickly dragged out of there. She came in hot with that. So that's funny. Now, here's a guy, a refugee from an Islamic country, and here's his warning to the Texas school district about the dangers of Islam. I thought this was really good. Check this out.
My name is Edwin Zagoli. I am a Sharia law survivor, was born in Iran. And I'm here to tell you everything that you're doing here has been done in UK and Canada. You have no idea where this halal money is going to, how they're funding these mosques, and what kind of a hell is coming towards your country right now. It's 2026. I skipped that hell years ago, and I'm seeing the same thing happening over here in the United States. You have no idea. There's 3 levels of Sharia law that is happening. Right now, it's level 1. They come in peace. They come and tell you, we just want rights. We want to be part of it. Level 2 is what's happening in the UK right now. You have 2-tier policing. You have cops who are working with Muslims right now. You have Sharia law courts over there. Now they're pushing blasphemy laws over there. And one of them is called M103. It's in Canada. People are being jailed. People are being raped in the United States, and nobody's doing anything about that because these Muslims are protected. Level 3 is what happened to my country, Iran. The hell I lived under. The apostasy laws, blasphemy laws, the hangings. These people do not change. They use taqiyya to come to your country, lie to every single one of you, and tell you they're different. They're not. Even in Florida, if you look at any of these mosques, they're pushing infidels. They're saying we want to kill infidels. We want to take over their lands. They're openly calling this out. Go to X and watch any of them straight up talking about this. And people like you I love America. I love America. Like right now, when I was in Iran living in that hellhole under Islam, I was praying to God to come to this country one day and live freely. And this shit is happening. I'm so sorry, but I'm crying.
That's your time.
All right. You can continue to watch that video on your own time. Like I said, I'll put the link in. I don't know how else to say it, folks. I mean, now this Tizzy Ent man, this little cucky boy who's evidently Generation X, like I am, and he's really a poor example. And what should I say? I mean, what do you say to something like him? And he's been doing this for quite some time. I guess he's pretty big on X from what I understand. I don't know about he might be on Instagram too and all that. I probably shouldn't really be overly advertising him. Just beware of him, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Benny Johnson's got a video from 2 hours ago. We just changed the life of a Texas woman who told Muslims the truth about, and I'd have to go into it to finish the title. It's uploaded. It's not live. I wouldn't doubt if it came from one of his live streams. But that being said, we have some real problems going on here. And I think about it. There's an algorithm, a pattern. And I say that because I remember in the 1980s, 1990s, John Ankerberg, used to hold these meetings, and be on TV back then and have these loving conversations and debates between Christian theologians, apologists, and of course the Muslim scholars, and that we were so tolerant, they were nice to one another, and now it's getting to this point. And trust me when I tell you, I know this firsthand too. They are not going to tolerate us if if they can get that kind of power. We will be done. That's as well as other things I've been pointing out, ladies and gentlemen. They have goals in mind, and it makes sense. I mean, it's not even that complicated. They have taken decades, many years, to infiltrate our system. And you can start on the lower level. You get a job. You get educated. You get a job. You get some kind of local counselor position. Your local council under a mayor. And that you become a CEO or a business owner, and then you raise your kids to be Sharia law or whatever they're doing, but they have to keep quiet at the time, and just over one day at a time. This is where we're getting to, and this is what we have, and it's a real dilemma. It's a conundrum, and I don't know how else to say it. Now, I did want to point out she was fired, and I know I typed it in there, but that Dasha Kilpatrick's was fired from Massage Forest over this. She's some kind of massage therapist. And she evidently, though, the good thing is she's had over 200 grand raised for her. Just comment, look, folks, she was trying to get away. You've seen the video now. It's been going on for a couple of days. I think this happened 2 days ago on a Sunday, didn't it? On the 21st or something, if I'm right. But she's trying to mind her own business and do this. And then all of a sudden they start recording something or at least show that part of the recording where she gets angry. I know. Well, I'd be pretty livid. I go out there twice a month, one, to grocery shop on a limited basis because we're trying to be self-sufficient. And the other thing is, two, which will be very soon, within less than a week, we go out to buy things like we have to buy another water container for the chickens, another feeder. I have to buy feed, another few bags. I'm not there to get into arguments and to be preached to by a bunch of pedo worshipers, by a bunch of chomos who have a prophet that he liked to doink little girls. Okay, it's just not, I won't be nearly as nice about it. I mean, what I will do step for step, I don't know. I'll probably try to ignore it at first. Say, look, dude, I'm busy, man. I have things to do and I have to get out of here. If they want to push it from there, then that's what we'll do. So, that being said, I feel bad for that girl. She's probably a very good massage therapist, educated in it. What she said about their prophet Muhammad is all true, all the way. It's not, they want to take over. I'm all for it. I am with her on this. Take your pedophile worshiping religion, go back to your own countries and do it. I will point out some history though, and then I'm going to point out this other buffoon named Amazing Lucas, who's an African-American, I guess, as they would label him. And he's just an idiot. But sticking to what I was saying about our history, we did have our forefathers who were too tolerant, even with the Constitution. To give you an example, I mean, George Washington signed the declarations. Benjamin Franklin did. I think John Adams, he didn't sign all of them. He signed at least a couple, I think, if I remember right. But point is, Thomas Jefferson, another one, they didn't really care about religion. They wanted freedom of religion. They didn't care what it was. I know for a fact and truth, reading all the history I have on George Washington, not only was he a deist, he really didn't care about what your religion was as long as you didn't harass anybody over it or get harassed. He wouldn't go to the Lord's Supper, the communion as we call it, Eucharist, call it what you will. He'd always drop his wife off of his carriage and she'd go and do it. And he got confronted. one of his main preachers in his life, I don't know if it was Abercrombie who confronted him on that or not. He quit. I think he kept dropping her off, and he just wasn't going to the church service like he normally would during the days that they did that. But my point to you is, he didn't care what your religion was. You could have you could have had that pedophile worshiping religion for what he, for all he cared. And that's a problem. They didn't put enough stops on it. We had to get away from King George III bestowing that Catholic stuff on us. I do have Catholic friends. I've known monks personally from the Order of St. Benedictine. I still do, for that matter. And there's some very good people. But so I don't want to make all the people that are Roman Catholics look bad. It's not my goal. But the way it was being bestowed on our predecessors, our aunts, our forefathers, and that, and to get away from that, to be able to worship in freedom. And that, I could get into the history of Thomas Jefferson. There's another technical name for it, but the simple name is the Thomas Jefferson Bible. He loved the logic of it, but for his own Bible, he took out all the miracles out of the Bible. He loved the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapters 5, 6, and 7. Okay, but when it came to miracles from Yahshua, he had them out of his Bible. So we had some problems right there, and that I think that also has contributed to where we're also, it's just too tolerant. I'm not saying, look, I'm not here to force anybody to be a Sabbath keeper, to look at the Hebraic perspective. I encourage it. I give you that choice. I give you information, and I leave it at that. But at the same time, I'm pretty hardcore. I'm very militant Torah. And I don't want any of those. There's a lot of Christian denominations I can't stand, and I wish they would stomp out, frankly. But these other religions, Islam, Hindu, Buddhist, I have no tolerance for it. I'm sorry. Now, you want to know about ignorance? This guy, and he's a bigger channel than me, and I think he's also on X and Instagram and all that. Let me look him up again. And it's not like I'm trying to, I don't recommend you guys to sub to them. Hold on a second. But the way he was cutting on Dasha Kilpatrick's, and I'm not going to play his stuff. I did. It took all I had to get through that video with him that he did. This guy is when he sits there and talks about low IQ people, I really wish he would, take a look in the mirror. And he likes to blame all his problems on white people. I noticed that very quickly. I am going to ask for people's help in one specific way. I tried looking and I have not found it yet, but those Muslim women who played that ridiculous video on Dasha Kilpatrick's, hold on a second. Oh, here we are. Okay. If you could find me the names, because, her name is public, their name should be public too. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Now, I'm a small channel. Evidently, I even maybe lost a subber here. I don't know, unless YouTube's messing with it. But if anyone can find and substantiate it, have concrete evidence of those Muslim women who did that to Dasha Kilpatrick's, please let me know and I'll put their names out. Just like I did with that Tizzy doofus. Okay. Let me look him up. He thinks it's cool to do that. Oops. He's all, He's got a YouTube channel. He's on 6 sites. Let me go ahead and share this too. These people need to be put out there too. If they're going to do that and try to ruin a young 25-year-old woman's life like that. Tizient is the online alias of Michael McWhorter, a popular internet crusader and filmmaker known for his social media setting with a massive following across TikTok and YouTube. He is best known for exposing con men, calling out bigotry, and seeking justice for victims of harassment. His notable online presence often revolves around the Tizzy effect. Man, this guy's just, he's a soy boy cucky and he's 50. He's a half century old. How pathetic. The Tizzy effect frequently sent tips and videos by followers. McWhorter dives into exposing wrongdoing, tracking down individuals responsible for criminal acts or harassment, and pushing for accountability. Viral accountability. His daily videos highlight everything from scammers to instances of racism after generating enough awareness to prompt real-world firings and legal action. TV/media expansion. His rise as a social justice figure has even sparked interest in mainstream media adaptations regarding his online sleuthing. There he is. Okay. He's on TikTok, all right. It's really sad, too. I mean, but then again, the mainstream media, if they're looking to him, even though they don't look to Nick Shirley, Nick Shirley had to expose all that Somalian fraud in my home state. Even the local CNN Blondie, she did, you have to, I don't understand this, but we're so messed up. This girl is, hold on, let me unshare this. Okay. I don't know how to deal with this. I just don't. I will not tolerate this religion on my property. Of course, I'm 15 miles away from the closest town. They'd be stupid to even come here. I'll deal with it real quick. I have no trespassing signs on that, and a gate, and pretty much says it legally. I don't know why they would. Could they be that stupid? I don't know. Hard to tell. I tend to wonder if this thing right here has affected people, the ones who actually have lived since 2020. You have to wonder where their minds have gone. People are going nuts in just about every area of life now. So, yeah, easy. Tizzy sent, or Tizzy Ant, I should say, doxed her and got her fired from Massage Forest in Texas. And I meant to show that Forest. I'll show where she used to work, and he's proud of himself. This just makes his day. Come on. Yeah, Massage Forest. Okay. I mean, if everybody can completely abandon this place, who gets that stuff done, that'd be awesome. Don't give them your business. I used to get massages. That was painful to go through deep tissue, I'll tell you what. But it did me a lot of good once it was done. I don't have the money for that. I'm signing in. Okay. Let me look at this. I'll show it to you. Abandon this if those of you who are exes. You think, I'm sure since we've all heard about this, I have no doubt Governor Greg Abbott has heard about this. And, you think he would say, I don't think he will, but you think he would have the guts because he doesn't want that. So he says he does not want Sharia law coming in and to his state, which it's already there, but been wanting to put legislature in, not allowing Sharia law to be implemented in. They're a very tight-knit community. They're doing it among their own. again, they're infiltrating. Look at Dearborn, Michigan. There's Muslims on the police force there. I mean, they're protecting their own. This is a real dilemma, folks. It is not good. But Massage Force is where she was fired from, thanks to Tizzy and whomever else. Just saying. So I, this is what we're getting down to, folks. And, but let's be honest, and I'll say this. I don't know if I've done it in any of my 2021 videos that I've made in the last month and a half or whatever it's been, but I've said it in other videos that I've made in the years past for sure. Those Muslims are doing what they're supposed to be doing according to their scriptures. This nice, peaceful Muslim nonsense, according to their scriptures, they're infidels. There are other countries where Muslims are killing Muslims because they're not holding to the Quran and the Hadith. Just so you know. So, I mean, because they're being infidels. Anyway, I just wanted to make that clear. Okay. I am glad that evidently she's had, that Dasha Kilpatrick's at such a young age stuck up for herself. Obviously, those Muslim women approached her. She was just trying to do her shopping. Come on. That is such... and I guess what really gets me to the little bit that I know and I've dealt with Muslims, those women are really loud in our nation. They're not supposed to be doing that. Try getting smart with your Muslim husband in another country where they don't care about the woman. She may only be punished and allowed to live the first couple of times, having acid and stuff put on her face, getting the living daylights beat out of her. But eventually, sooner or later, depending on how the severity of the situation, they can be knocked off. They can be executed. I mean, look at Ilhan Omar in the 5th Congressional District of Minnesota. I mean, you don't talk like that to people. You don't deal with it. Not a real Muslim, and she's got more power than most male Muslims could ever even hope to have. The Trump-Vance administration has proof on her with her bogus marriage to her brother and that. She's still walking free. The Trump administration doesn't have the sack to do anything about that. At least they haven't yet. But these women, whomever they are, and please, if anybody can find out who the names of those Muslim women are, give them to me. I will put them on this small channel. I will type them out. I'll put out information on them like Tizzy Ent and them did to Dasha Kilpatrick's. So that being said, folks, I really don't have a lot more to say. It's been over 48 minutes. I thought I'd get this out. It's out all over where you can watch that. As upset as she got, I thought she handled it a lot better than I ever could. I have these douches. If I have these pedo worshiping buffoons coming up to me when I'm just trying to mind my own business and get my stuff from my homestead, we're going to have an issue quick. And I'm not trying to just play like big bad boy here. I'm just telling you how in generalities I'll handle it. I'll tell them once, look, I'm not here to listen to your religion. I'm here to get my business done and go home. If they leave me alone, we're good. Okay, sorry to bother you, sir. But if they keep it up, and it's obvious I can't just look to law enforcement, or I can't I don't know if I could go to management. I mean, I go to Rural Kings and Tractor Supplies and that. And every now and then I have to go to Walmart. I'm trying to avoid them now anyway for other reasons. But I'm just there to get my thing done. That's all. That is it. So please pray for this woman. And the woman has a lot of guts. She has a sack. I have a lot of respect for her. A lot of respect for her. I've never met her in that. She's like 32 years younger than me. I mean, how many kids are, I mean, I know she's legally a grown woman and that, but I mean, how many young kids in that are today from Alpha or Z or whatever? How many have the guts to do what she did? Not very many. And I hope that Massage Forest in Conroe, Texas loses a lot of business for that crap. She was just trying to do her business. These women harassed her. She did what she could to get away from them after confronting them back. And then you have little cucky soy boys like Tizzy Ant who did what and he's proud of it. He thinks it's so cool to ruin other people's lives. So anyway, I have been on here long enough. It's now been over 51 minutes. All I can do is ramble on. I can give you more history on Muhammad, how he was illiterate and that, had to have one of his wives help him read. This is the kind of prophet they follow. Yeah, you must have had some kind of charisma, though, I guess. But raping girls, committing chomo acts. But what's the point? You can do your own research, too. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending this live stream, both live and pre-recorded. Please thumb it up. Please share it. Please give me that information on those women that harassed her if you can. Find me good sources. Keep your head on a swivel. Stay safe out there. Pray. Let Elohim guide you. Peace. Shalom. The Hebraic Israelite Levite man is out of here.